If there's one thing Spider-Man has never been lacking, it's a vast rogues gallery. The guy has gone up against so many villains, they outnumber him by a wide margin and have formed teams to take him down. He's got plenty of enemies, but if you had to choose his nemesis, you would need look no further than Norman Osborn, otherwise known as the Green Goblin. Like Spider-Man, the Green Goblin has been featured in tons of stories across the Spider-Verse and the Marvel multiverse. Most of his alternate versions are fairly similar to his Earth 616 version, but some are pretty strange. These 10 alternate versions of the Green Goblin are easily his most insane, and there are plenty more where these came from. Number 10. Green Goblin of 1602. The Norman Osborn from Earth 311, otherwise known as the 1602 universe, existed in the past. The 1602 universe features versions of Marvel characters from that year, and they're all a bit strange. Norman Osborn sought the Source, which empowered his era's superpowered individuals. He wasn't able to find it, but he did have nefarious dealings with the Spider. He was ultimately sent to England to stand trial for his crimes in the New World, but was wounded during his voyage. He wasn't expected to survive, so he was absolved. This worked out well for Osborn, who scored some of the Spider's blood, which he gave to Henry Le Pym, who helped him become a winged goblin. 9. Marvel Noir Green Goblin. The Marvel Noir universe of Earth 90214 imagines a world filled with superheroes and villains during the film noir period of the 1940s. The Spider-Man of this universe was featured in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse via Nicolas Cage's voiceover talents, but it didn't go into his nemesis. The Norman Osborn of the Noir universe started life as a circus freak. His skin condition gave him a reptilian look, but that wasn't his only gig. He became a hired gun, working various illegal operations for the underworld of New York City. His crimes brought him into conflict with Spider-Man, who came after him following the Goblin's abduction of Felicia Hardy. They fought, and both were unmasked, but Spider-Man opted to leave the Goblin alive. For now. 8. Two-Faced Goblin. Back in the 1990s, Marvel Comics and DC Comics worked together on what became the Amalgam Universe. In this reality, Earth's heroes and villains were combined into new characters, so Two-Face and the Green Goblin merged to become Two-Faced Goblin. His backstory is closer to Harvey Dent / Two-Face than it is to Norman Osborn. Also, his name is Harvey Osborn, but his scarred face looks disturbingly familiar. He fought Logan Wayne, otherwise known as Darkclaw, a Wolverine-Batman combo, so he wasn't one of Spider-Man's foes. Of course, Spider-Man was a cross between Pete Ross and Peter Parker, making them Peter Ross, aka Spider-Boy, so he had his own thing going on. 7. Steampunk Green Goblin from Earth 803. Earth 803 is Marvel's steampunk universe, and it has a Norman Osborn, Lord Norman Osborn. He was a mild-mannered man who moonlighted as the supervillain known as the Green Goblin. In this universe, the Green Goblin is the head of the 6 Men of Sinistry, and they clashed with Lady Spider, the female Spider-Man of this universe. The most notable aspect of the Green Goblin of Earth 803 is his appearance, as he and his equipment are decidedly Victorian steampunk. 6. Ultimate Green Goblin. The Norman Osborn of Earth 1610, the Ultimate Universe, is far more imposing than his other variants. In this reality, he combined his DNA with the Oz version of the Super Soldier Serum. He surmised that doing so would make him a more powerful version of himself, and technically, it did do that, but not in the way that he hoped. He transformed into a massive monster resembling, well, a Green Goblin. He's far stronger than his Earth 616 counterpart and has many more superpowers than the other versions of his character. He's also immortal and comes back to life after he dies. But to be honest, what comic book character doesn't do that? I mean, you need look no further than Uncle Ben to know that. 5. President Osborn. Over on Earth 138, Ozzy Osbourne operated as the leader of a regime in America. He was behind the creation of VENOM, Venom, a program that used the alien symbiote to boost the power of the Thunderbolt Department. This version of the Green Goblin looks significantly different from his Earth 616 counterpart, which is due to the fact that he's bonded with the Venom symbiote. He's much larger and has all the powers, abilities, and weaknesses of Venom and the Green Goblin combined. 4. The Green Gobbler. Over on Earth 7840, animals and insects have anthropomorphic qualities, So, Spider-Man is actually the Amazing Man Spider, and of course he has his enemies in his native reality, including a rather unusual version of the Green Goblin. The Green Goblin of Earth 7840 is known as the Green Gobbler, and he's an anthropomorphic turkey. Other than that, there's not much known of him. Still, he's a turkey with the coloration and costume of the Green Goblin, so his principal worries extend to Man Spider and Thanksgiving, of course. 3. The Red Goblin. The Red Goblin is actually the Green Goblin of Earth 616, but with a few tweaks. Instead of his normal outfit and superpowers, Norman Osborn has upgraded himself. He combined the Goblin formula with the genetic code of Carnage to become a super symbiote. The new amalgam of superpowers has given Osborn all the powers he has had as the Green Goblin, and all the powers of somebody with the Carnage symbiote, but few of the weaknesses. He's become infinitely more powerful, and therefore more dangerous, than he was before, making him one of Spider-Man's greatest enemies, not that he wasn't already. Number 2. The Green Goblin of Earth TRN-825. Earth TRN-825 is one of the most unusual alternate realities in the Marvel Universe because it was designed with kids in mind. It first appeared in 2014, and it's filled with kid-friendly versions of Spider-Man, his allies, and his enemies. The Green Goblin of Earth TRN-825 is a cartoonish version of the character whose main goal in life seems to be stealing Aunt May's pumpkins. When he tried to do this with Hobgoblin, she managed to scare them off with her broom. Certainly not the most powerful version of the character, but definitely one of the weirdest. Number 1. Goblin 2099. Marvel's 2099 universe from the 1990s reimagined its most successful characters at the turn of the 22nd century. Spider-Man appeared in the form of Miguel O'Hara, and he had a Green Goblin to contend with. The 2099 Green Goblin was Jennifer D'Angelo, an ordained priest who came into contact with Spider-Man on numerous occasions. She wanted to take Spider-Man's place as the Goblin, which made her his enemy. She allied herself with the Vulture to try and take him out, but it didn't work out as she hoped. Well, there you have it. These are the 10 craziest, most insane alternate versions of the Green Goblin from the multiverse. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, go ahead and leave a like, a comment, and please subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time.